Welcome to Wednesday. It's West London VR Wednesday as well, January the 5th, 1st of 2022. We wish you a happy new year. Not the first time ZMS has been broadcasting this year, but our first West London VR race. So, terrific to be back. Today we are racing in mainly Buckinghamshire and Oxfordshire, I would say. And hopefully we can show you the map in a moment. There we go. Now this is Stokenchurch. This is up on a mountain. You can see the motorway that it's shadowing there. That's the M40 from Birmingham to London if you live in the UK. And it's in between Oxford and London where there's a big radio mast that you might notice when you're on the motorway. And it goes down through Hambledon, which is used in a lot of film sets, a pretty little village. Now most of that track is downhill, but there are a couple of little bumps towards the end. If it's a big peloton, I think everybody's going to get over them quite quickly. But if you can sneak a little lead before one of those, yeah, you might gap everybody else just before the finish. Whether or not it's enough to win, I don't know. So this is essentially down a valley, as you can see. We go across the top, that first bit before that little zigzag in the middle. Once you get into that sharp right-hand turn that you can see about sort of 2/5 of the way down the circuit, it's pretty much downhill all the way down as you go down that valley. So we're expecting it to be fast, plenty of riders on the line, so there will be a big field. And if the peloton is large and you can stay in it, that's going to be one great opportunity to score a lot of points in a bunch sprint, and it's a great opportunity to lose a lot of places if you're one of the riders competing for the series. So if we can have a look at the series leaders, I think we've got something there that we can put up on the screen and we can see who's running. This is the ladies competition which we've introduced. It's the best of your 6 rides if you're a lady, so however many rides you do, as long as you do 6, and then we'll take the best 6 and put you up there and see who wins. Anna Ronkanen is from Finland, is in 3rd place. She was up there competing in the bunch sprint in the last race and looks to be a real contender. Ellen Lockett lives locally to me and I know is a fast rider. Currently leads the series on 96 points from Lisa West from Twickenham CC, and Twickenham CC in 4th and 5th as well with Claire Miller and Claire Thompson. And Twickenham CC were the first club to put in a ladies team, and we have now got our second ladies team, so there will be a ladies team competition coming up. Details of that will be announced. The other team is made up of, in 7th and 8th there, Wendy Gallagher, or Wendy Wonderwheels as she likes to call herself, and Linda Van Dyke, Australia and New Zealand respectively, and they are just, we've agreed this morning, going to make a second team so that we can run a ladies team competition. So a quick look at the men's if we can. Men's standings. We're about minutes ago. Wouter Claes from Belgium is in the lead. Ned Bowen, who is always up there in these competitions, just behind and 19 points behind. John Samet from Staffordshire doing exceptionally well. Carlos Stella from Madrid. Jared Miller, New Zealand, actually lives in Hertfordshire in the UK. James Melville from Glasgow United. Jan van der Linden, I've got a feeling he might not be racing tonight. James Curry in 8th from Southport District Wheels. Mario Cavalius from Germany, and Nick Greenhalch, who's trailing way down in 10th, mainly because he's missed one of the races. But we have the new best of 12 competition coming in, so he might have a go for that. Quick look at the teams if we can, and we should see that Pokemotion are leading. They're not far behind is Moon Riders. Glasgow United losing ground in the last race, whereas the McAlpine unfortunately had a technical, waited and waited and waited, got the thing moving and just rolled home on his own to finish last, but collect I think about 28 points towards his team, which was, I think, marvellous. Ratio Racing for Southborough, Watford, it making up the top 6. So let's have a look at the start line and see how many riders we've got lined up. There are 114 riders at the start, so this is going to be quite a mass race, isn't it? I think the start will be quite important. You can see the profile at the bottom of the screen there. You can see it's mainly downhill. It is a little bit flat at the top, so everybody needs to get pedalling. 9 seconds to go. We're about to go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. This is race 4.7 and they're off. And look at them go. Absolutely swarms of them. Somebody already breaking off the front there. T Cook ahead of Nick Greenhalgh. T Cook from Australia and rides for 3R. We don't have a team in this competition, but our prolific riders across the RGT network. Nick Greenhalgh has caught up with Cook. John Samet just behind him, and Jack Samways just behind him from Watford. Mark Rowbottom in there, another contender towards the top of the rankings there. Now, over this first kilometre is where you get it's make or break, because you either get in that peloton and you're in the race, or if you get dropped, you will not catch it, is the general rule. Jack Samways from Watford Velo out there on the front there. So we're seeing Simon Gillies. Now, Twickenham have just picked a new kit, which we we don't quite see. We were concentrating on Jack Samways from Watford at the moment, but just on the right there, you see the orange helmet. That's Twickenham. They picked a kit, not too dissimilar from their own kit. Watford Velo wear the orange kit. They selected that. Casper Hedenham now from Denmark, but John Smitheroos is contesting at the front. Quite a big bunch here, and I don't know if many riders got dropped. We shall work that out. We're 1.2 kilometres into the race, and everybody sort of just, you can see at the back, the pace must be 48 kilometres. I mean, it is minus 1.3, 48 kilometres per hour. And you can see just in the back of the picture a few riders not being able to maintain that despite the downhill nature of the race. It is mad, it's fast and furious in these races. Kirsten Edge there of Pocomotion. Pocomotion leading the team series at the moment. Jack Samways for Watford. Watford new to this series this season, and I think it's sort of a little bit of a learning curve, but I think they're going to put in a very, very good performance. 61st place, Lorbecky from the United States. As we look back, just being pursued by Dolphin Davidson and Ithor from Italy, and David Ellis 65th as we go back. Pinkston from Deutschland is in there, and who else have we got in there? I think that's PJ at 72nd from Twickenham again. Tim Cummings I see down there at 76th. Coco Maisie at 77th. Mike Buckhurst with the US flag there from the UK, but living in California these days. There we see Tim Cummings at 76th with Lees and Tom Yates Jazz, it looks like, from Ealing. Brian Vince, Canadian, rides for Watford though, so I suspect he's living in the UK. Doug Hart now pushing out on front, and Brian Vince just tucking in there. And is that Aratia? Yes, it is. It's Aratia Racing in the orange helmet as well. Nick Greenhalgh. Daniel Nujbia also up there. Jackie Samways, Matthias Bergfist we see. Brian Vince. Mike Adey in 10th position from North Buckinghamshire. Doug Hart, I think I mentioned. Julian Fussell from Southborough District Wheelers. Southborough District Wheelers with 3 teams in this competition. Twickenham now have 2. I think Westerly have 2 as well. Moonriders. Moonriders have got 2, but they don't use Moonriders on. We're looking at Luigi Pierleone. He's putting out 320, about 311 watts. He's dropped down to 240 now. The gradient +5. So this is one of these little bumps you get along the way. And we can see there is, despite Jan van der Wiel from Belgium out the front now, he's got just 5 metres. Jonas van der Wiel. He's only got 5 metres. I think the peloton will not let him go anywhere. Alistair McAlkine, the unfortunate victim of that Tacanical last week, usually up there vying for Glasgow United, who put in a very strong performance in these races. A couple of Ratio riders going off the front there. There seems to be a little bit of a split, but I suspect what we're seeing is the effort that Nick Greenhalgh is putting on the front is spreading that peloton out into a line, and they will drop people. Now, if you're new to this, just have a look at the bottom of your screen as John Samet takes up the running on the front. The bottom, the green, blue, red thing, is the profile of the race. You can see it goes from left to right, and it's downhill. John Samet's stats there, pushing out 289 watts, and he's doing the speed of 57 miles. Look at that, 57. Oh, down to 50 now. 50 kph, -3, but this is still phenomenally fast anyway. Casper Hedenham and Matthias Bergqvist, Matthias Lundqvist, I haven't seen for a while. Mads Schur from Denmark, also in there. I haven't seen Mads for a little while. Nice to have you all back, guys. Top racers, these chaps. So look out for them. I think they'll be in the mix when we get up to the finish. They're still pushing out 53 kph. Now, as I was saying, if you look at the bottom, that is the profile. Blue means it's downhill, red means it's uphill, so orange is slightly uphill. Darker the blue, the steeper the drop. This is thinning out. Now, this is not necessarily what I expected. People are not being able to cope with the pace, even though it's downhill. And this is thinning out much more than I would have anticipated. See an OTR rider there in the familiar white, green and black and yellow kit. So here we see some split fields, and we can have a look around the race now. So in the bottom right hand corner you can see the front of the race with Casper Hedden leading out. In fact, that's the view on the top one, and the bottom left. In fact, they're all the same position in the race, aren't they? Sorry, so it's better look round. Pushing out off the front there a little bit. We're looking further back in the field. We're picking out some names here. Lightfoot, Rafa Nunes with the Ecuadorian flag. Actually lives in Basingstoke in the UK. Wendy Wheels up there, very good positioning. We've got 114 riders and Wendy's up at 75th, and this is split into groups, so that's very, very good for the ladies competition. I'm trying to look out for Anna Rankkonen from Finland. I don't know if she's made the start line or not, but she was the star lady last week, and we're looking out Nick Giles. Nick, I was in contact with Nick this morning and pointing out that PokerMotion are romping away with the league at the moment. Lovely to have you on board, Nick. And yes, he's cheering on PokerMotion, of course. Look out for them. White jerseys generally, the Great Britain jerseys. John Sammer, of course, we're looking out for. We've mentioned a few times at the start already. Lovely to have you on board, Nick Giles. Does a wonderful job running that team as Kirsten Edge of PokerMotion is the current leader. Now this, as I say, is a thinned out, I mean there's still quite a few riders in that peloton, but out of the 114 that are currently riding, that has obviously thinned down, so it's quite attritional. And we've got the best drop yet to come. Now you can see, as I was saying earlier, you've got this profile at the bottom. Now the white blobs on the top are where the riders are. So the big a bigger white blob, we see OTR rider there in the green, black and white, and Moon Riders in the black, green, yellow and white. Sorry, I got it the wrong way around earlier. That's David Buckley in the purple jersey from Westerly. He helps me out with the results at the end very kindly. Paul Hinson there in 53rd, who recently joined the Ian Suddersley as well. I say Paul Hinson recently clocked up in the last race, his 21st race in the series. This is his 22nd. If you ride 21 races, we will send you a free badge. You do need to send us your address because we can't guess it. See Duffy there from Southborough as well in that group. Carl Seller is up there competing again. Ned Bowen off the front. Now Ned is a previous winner of the series. He won Series 2, he was runner-up in Series 3 by a smidgen. It all went down to the last race and the last few kilometres, but a classic between Ned and Nick Greenhalgh. But Ned is king of the sprints, and if Ned is in this at the end, which I would fully expect him to be, look out. Live leaderboard on your right there, we can see some big names up there too. So we can expect a quality sprint at the end of this one. We are 7.4 kilometres into the 16.9 kilometres, and it thins and thins and thins, doesn't it? The pace is phenomenal. Look, still doing 50 at the front. Look at this in the group: Tom Moss, Julian Fussell, Marcin Schudlerek and Thomas Nygren, all in there. Regular riders, cut off, and people that I would expect to be much further up. Mads Schur at PokerMotion, 42nd, been dropped, and this is yes, as I say, Matt Feely. Now Matt Feely's been riding with us for a long time, and I've stopped riding the races so that I can do the commentary, but I often used to find myself getting beaten by Matt on the line. It's a lovely guy from the Dublin area. Andrew Bill just pushing up 39. Andrew's been getting some good results. He's just behind Kevin Unsworth there. Go on, Andrew. You're going to have to fight to get back on that group. Andrew's putting in some great performances. Under the yellow banner for these guys in 38th position, that's Kevin Unsworth. And that yellow banner is, of course, the halfway stage. You can see the road dropping now. Stuart Gillies there. Just dropping down. Bellini, Mark Rowbottom for Ratio Racing there, 35th. These riders will still, they might have been dropped by the main peloton at the front, but they will still, look how thin the leaders is. 60 kph, -7, -8%, and they're hitting speeds like that. This has really thinned, and this was not quite what I expected. You can see the blobs at the bottom, the main bulk of the riders. As I say, the big blob is whatever the camera's focused on. The other blobs are little riders. Tom Gates up there in second. Actually, Tom Gates has got a race after this. He's running himself down the Alpe d'Huez. So that will be. He's probably just warming up for a saunter down the Alpe d'Huez. Good luck with that, Tom and Daniel Nujper. Previously came third in this one of the earlier series as well from Germany. Jack Samways from Watford up there competing. Somebody else there is in the purple jersey. He's pushing out up the front, and I'm not sure who that is. Doug Hart, it is indeed. So let's see. I'm wondering if we can sort of pick out some of the ladies at the back. I don't know how possible that is, but if we can, it would be nice to see a little bit of who's where. As I say, I'm not sure if Anna Rankin made the start line, but she did enter. And Emma Lockett is currently leading. As I say, Lisa West from Twickenham is in third place in the ladies section, and there will be a ladies team competition too. Currently two ladies teams in it, so if there's any ladies watching this and you want to get a team together, please do so, because we can add your team in at any point. So we are looking at a very select group now of around, we're going back to the back here, Wendy Vanderveels there, 77th. That will be a good result out of 113, and I think that is good. Can't see any of the other ladies in there. Wendy wearing the OTR kit, the green, black and white, of course. See Lee's there, Tom Yates Jazz from Ealing, and Larson from Sweden, I believe, another OTR rider, of course, in that kit. You can tell Mike Buckhurst, lovely to see Mike Buckhurst up there. Let's say riding in his lunch hour in California. So, Cara Bono, yes, that's one of the lady riders. This is one of our new ones, isn't it? So Cara Bono there from the United States in the blue is in 77th. So I'm not sure if they are the two leading ladies. We shall have to find out. H. Larson looks like it might be a female rider as well, so we have to look out for that one. They've certainly got a female avatar, haven't they? So there's a couple of ladies there. Who have we got here? Carlos Sella in 20th, and this is the front group again. So it's around just over 20 riders out of 113 still in the race. Nick Greenhouse doing what he does best, pushing out on the front, doing that little dig. This is what breaks up the peloton, and you know, the top riders understand this. They do little stints on the front just to sort of kind of flesh out the weaker riders, because there's always the chance that you carry somebody. It's 26th, the Aussie King. He changes his name every race. He's Lisa West, fantastic for Twickenham, 98th. Now the way the points work, you get 100 for first, and there's Linda Van Dyke from Australia. Lisa and Linda, if you can get inside the top 100, you get more points than if you finish 100th or below. So basically the way it works, the winner of the race will get 100 points, second will get 99, and so on and so forth. You get down to 100th and you get 1 point, but if you finish 101st, 102nd, everybody will get 1 point. So everybody gets a point in this race, and it goes down to, let's say, these 100 or so. Jack Samways from Watford Velo, a rather impressive club, and if you see them out on a Sunday morning in this area, they are out in force, and some of their groups going very, very fast too. Quite an impressive club. I think it's well organised and quite popular in southwest Hertfordshire there. So having a look at this little batch here, yes, Sarah Pitchford, she's from Australia. My goodness, she's doing well as well. She's, as I say, from Australia. I think she's a new rider as well. As we expand the number of female competitors and the female competitions too. Great showing today, ladies. Tom Gates up there at front. Now, Tom was a very strong rider. Some of you may have seen the classic where his pedal broke off in one of the races, and he was absolutely amazing. You know, fixed it and got back on the bike. Talk about some bad luck. He really did, but he dealt with it so well. Wouter Clay's in first position. Wouter Clay's leading the championship at the moment. Aussie King then 17th. We see that picture of Wouter there, and looking younger and better looking than me. Look, Daniel Nussbauer's been dropped off the back. Wouter Clay's fighting there just to stay with the front runners. 3.6 kilometres to go, and it's still thinning down as we're going over 55 kph. It's getting thinner and thinner. I see Daniel Nussbauer's been dropped there. Jack Samways from Watford still showing. Watford in that orange and black kit. Per Soderbo from Sweden now. It's the rider we're focusing on, and a couple of Swedish riders, Gustafsson there as well. So the Swedes doing well in this front bunch, but it's still attritional. Look at this, 40 kph. They're going up +1, and this is one of those little kicks where I think they might lose a few riders. This is fascinating racing. Gustafsson from Sweden now taking it up. Cook, Aussie King. It's not his real name, of course, but I did have it written down earlier, and I can't see where I've written it. But Gustafsson's just been. Oh, Doug Hart's gone off the front. Is Doug Hart going for a breakaway with 3k to go? I don't think the peloton will let him, but people are fighting to stay on this at 50 kph. This is a fast race. 16 minutes gone, and we're only 2.7 away from the finish. This could be the quickest West London VR race we've yet had. Carlos Seller's been dropped. That is amazing. Carlos is a contender in this championship. I would not expect him to get dropped. Brian Vince, I think, might be just dropping off the back of that group as well. So this is Van der Wiel is the latest one. It's not Ned Bowen falling off. No, that can't happen. Everybody's fighting hard to stay on. I would never. No, I think Ned's got what it takes to get back on. I think Ned's going to get back on. He's not going to let that happen. But did I see Alistair McAlpine being the latest victim of this? This group is getting more and more select. Casper Hedenham, Brian Vince from Canada in there still. Svelius, Kirsten Edge from Pokemotion. I think I can see 2 Pokemotion jerseys in there. So I would imagine the other one's John Sammet. So this is going to be quite a finish. Carlos Seller there on your right, and he's about to be caught by Daniel Nussbauer and Johan van der Wiel. Overtaken. I am surprised. There might be something wrong there. Say James Curry there for South District Wheelers further back, and he's with Tomasz Wojciechowski from Poland on your right. With 1.6 kilometres to go, I think it's probably time to look at this front bunch, because I think the brakes are going to go. It's Sedvet from the United States. He's taken out Gustafsson. I think these are getting away. Maybe not. The peloton's fighting back. Doug Hart in there. This is going to be nip and tuck. Wouter Clay, Sodberg, James Melville, we haven't mentioned, but it always finishes up there. Tom Gates, a truly international celebrity rider in this race. James Melville going for it. He does that. Alistair McAlpine just behind him. Both in the red and white. Both from Scotland, ride for Glasgow United. Can James Mill pull this off? It's 1.2 kilometres. It's probably too far. It's I think that's going to be difficult. Only 5 metres gap. He's not going to be allowed to get away as they head towards the Flamme Rouge. Tom Cook there coming in. Sylvelius, Soderberg, Jackie Samways for Watford still in there. Cook's going for it for 3R. It's 900 metres to go. Everybody's now going to have to push at the limit. We're looking at everybody sort of 3 kilowatts per watts per kilogram or above now as they push towards the finishing line with 700 metres to go. Bunching up, everybody working out what they're going to do. Ned Bowen in the red in the centre there. He's the master of timing a finish, but somebody's going off the front. It's you've got to time the finish. You've got to be in the bunch. A couple have been dropped off the back there. The push on the front from Matthias Bergqvist is stretching this out, and one of the Moon Riders, he's going off the front. It looked like Wouter Clays it was. Gustafsson now pushing in front of Wouter. Ned Bowen positioned himself up there. And one of the Pokemotion Riders is John Sammet now taking up the lead, but John Sammet doesn't keep it. Ned Bowen now pushing alongside Wouter Clays. It is going to probably be Cook. He's looking the strongest, but Ned Bowen is good. No, Wouter Clays. He cements his position at the top with a fantastically timed ring just to pit Cook and Gakes on the line. Sorry, that was Gakes, and I thought it was Ned Bowen. Because I know Ned wears a red kit. There's Ned Bowen, who's right back in 24th, and he's going to lose big ground. So sorry for my mistake. That was Gakes and not Bowen. Daniel Nurschberg coming in at 23rd. Looking at the live results, Wouter Clays, Thomas Cook, Tom Gakes from the Netherlands. Apologies, Tom, for mistaking you for Ned Bowen, who we see still hasn't finished at 25th. That is very surprising. Doug Hart with a smashing fourth. Smitheroo, the United States. Soderberg, Jackie Samways from Watford. Look at these three go. There's a sprint here. Look at this. This is fantastic. This is what we like. We like these secondary sprints. We don't grade the races. The whole idea is that everybody, as we speak, Piolini coming in 37th. What happens is we expect you to find a little group of your own standard and you'll ride around and you'll race them there. Brian Vince there from Watford also finished. This is amazing. 76 riders still to come in. Mark Roadbottom way back at 32nd. As I say, apologies to Tom Gakes because I commentated looking at the red just assuming it was Ned Bowen because that's what he does. It was of course Tom Gakes. Mads Schur for Pokemotion there in 38th, just finishing ahead of Andrew Beale 39th. Andrew's been getting a lot of 39ths and 40ths recently, which is very, very good, and good luck to him. Well done, Andy. Julian Fussell just behind him in 40th, and for Southport District Wheelers. This is the top 20. Actually, we start at 11th. Matthias Bergqvist and Matthias Lundqvist, both from Sweden. Kirsten Edge from Denmark. Some Scandinavians in the top finishing places there. So 53 riders still to come in. So the interesting thing will be now to look at the league tables. Now, I compile these after the race, so you're going to have to wait a few hours. They will be published online at westlondoncycling.com as we look at the top 20 now. James Melville all the way back in 16th, Alistair McAlpine in 17th, and they pushed for the front. Casper Hedenham, Ryan Sedovic, Aussie King, all finishing down there. Starting at the top though, Wouter Clays, as we know, Tim Cook, Tom Gakes, Doug Hart, Joshua Smitheroo, Per Soderberg. Sweden, Jack Samways for Watford, fantastic result, well done Jack. Mickey Gustafsson from Sweden, Mike Gustafsson from Sweden. Mario Cavalius, great result. John Sammet for Pokemotion, hope you're pleased with that. Nick Giles, Matthias Bergqvist, Matthias Lundqvist, as you mentioned, Kirsten Edge, again a Pokemotion, so that's two Pokemotion riders, 10th and 13th there, and that will match up some points. Nick Greenhouse having to settle for 14th. This is shaking things up. This has been an interesting race. Gautam Thacker there, who lives locally to me. Well done, Gautam. In fact, I have to tell you, he's at home with COVID and he's done the race tonight. So I'm sure you're not meant to, but what a hero, eh? So as we see, Stuart Gillies from Twickenham in 30th, Mike Addy from North Buckinghamshire, Ned Owen 28th. We last saw him in 25th. Something's gone awry for Ned there because that's way below what he's read. James Curry from Southport, who's been getting some great results this year. Out there, Matt Hammond, of course, in 25th. Carlos Sella from here we have Gautam Thacker. I'm just trying to see what position he's in. Anyway, I shall check later. As I say, I publish all the results later. As we go through, let's go back. Daniel Nurschberg next up with this. So let's have a look at. Further down, we've got some other results coming in. Absolutely fantastic. This is 55th. I see Stuart Thorne in there, another one of my local friends. Simon Hall from Watford in 52nd. Paul Hinson recently inducted into the 21 Dung Club at 51st. And Marcin Schluderek from Wrocław in Poland in 46th. Ragnar Lund for Twickenham, a debutant today. Chris Duffy for Southport District Wheelers Bees in 48th. Thomas Nygren, another Swede, 49th, my mate David Buckley, who helps me with the results, in 50th, and my never met Matt Feely, but I know he's a lovely guy because we corresponded, at 43rd, and he usually beats me whenever we race. But Buck Rogers at 41st, just ahead of Brian Detweiler. Julian Fussell from South District Wheelers, who have 3 teams in this, an amazing turnout from them every time. Andrew Beale from Westerly in 39th. Mads Schnur for Pokemotion. That's probably a little bit disappointing for Nick Charles, but he's just behind Luigi Pagliolini. Simon Miller, who's the main man. Look out for Simon's Friday Frenzy races as well. They're on RGT on a Friday evening UK time, of course. Friday Frenzy, Simon Miller from South District Wheelers. Rocket Roy O'Neill in 35th. Jonathan Frost from Twickenham. Great result, Jonathan, 34th. Mike Wareham for Moon Riders in 33rd. Mark Rowbottom, 3R don't have a team, but Mark, one of the star riders of this series. Kevin Unsworth in 31st. Fantastic stuff. I can go back to the action and see if we can see what any of our ladies are doing. Oh no, we've still got some more results coming in. We're right back to 90th now. With Robert Blackburn, another Twickenham rider. They've got 2 teams in there. Gilbert, French rider, just pips Lauritsen from Denmark at the line. Van der Wiel coming in 96. Van der Wiel was further up before. Now I love the Beausoleil, who sounds so French and had a British flag, and I noticed that Gavin Grant sounds very British and has a French flag, so I don't know if there's flag swapping at Twickenham Cycling Club or not. Van der Leyen coming in 98th position, and just more results. Mike Butthurst from California, he's a Brit who lives in California, 71st. Tom Yates Jazz from Ealing is 72nd. ML Street, I don't know, but he's 73rd. 74th, Mark Lightfoot. Rafa Nunez at 75th, the Ecuadorian. Lisa West coming in 100th place, and she's just been pipped by Linda Van Dyke. On, so Battle of the Ladies there. We shall pluck out the ladies' results, put them in. 78th, I see Holly Larson. I'm not sure if that's a lady or not, but we'll check that one out. Tim Cummings at 79th, lives down the road from me. 80th, Wendy Wonderwheels picking up points for Smile On. Well done, Wendy. Brilliant result in a big field like this. Sarah Pritchard just coming in 103rd from Australia. Another lady rider in there. GD from Deutschland is 104th at the moment. 9 riders still to finish. Gavin Grant from Twickenham in 88th, just ahead of Miguel Silva from Portugal. Robert Blackburn 90th, as I said. PJ clutch of Claire Miller 86th, a good result for Twickenham ladies. So there's a clutch of Twickenham riders there. I think these guys do ride in a little group and help each other out, but it's PJ, Gavin Grant and Claire Miller from Twickenham 86th, 87th and 88th. Jerak Broknowski just ahead of Roy Lemmings, Tony Bowler, Grant Watson and my mate Gautam Thakkar, who, as I say, finished 81st and is riding with COVID. What a star. You'll probably tell me that you're not supposed to. Cara Bono is 106th at the moment, still to finish. You have Belluardo at 105th with 5 kilometres to go by the looks of it, so plenty of riders. I can see actually, if you look at 104th, if you look on the left, you'll see that Belluardo is probably there's alongside Cara Bono is the only rider on the only 2 riders left on there, and they've got about 4k to go, pedaling quite slowly at 12 kph. That suggests something's not quite right, but we'll assume that oh no, oh dear, go on Cara. We don't like to see this. This usually means a technical, some sort of dropout, either in power or internet connection, or something causes this. Oh, there's another one there. Oh dear, it's always heartbreaking when you see this. This happened to oh my goodness, you can't. No, that must be absolutely horrible. Belluardo's up and running still. I'm hoping that the others will finish. It's absolutely it's horrible if you actually finish as I say, just meters from the line, and you get a technical. Like I said, though, don't underestimate the ability for this to come back again. Alistair McAlpine sat there when everybody had finished and did not switch off his computer or log out or anything, and eventually got the power back, sorted out the link, and got on his bike and rode it. He finished about 20 minutes behind the last rider, but picked up points, and in that race, finishing last, netted 20 something points. Finishing last today is only going to get you 1 point, unfortunately, because we have passed the 100 mark in terms of riders, but I do like to see a rider carry on and finish the race, as Beluardo is there. We'd actually switched off and gone home and assumed that Alistair... Nick Charles, thank you very much, Nick. That's a pleasure, especially coming from a man who does so much for e-racing. Nick Charles, the man who created and runs PokerMotion, who currently lead the, or at least before today's race, were leading the team selection. So getting a compliment for somebody as prestigious as Nick Charles is very nice. Thank you, Nick. That's well received as we look at Beluardo. Crawling home. Well, it's on a very slight ramp at the moment by the looks of things, and I say there's Cara just behind him, but I'm not sure if Cara's actually moving anymore or not. Cara, if you look at the data on the left of each screen, you'll see that Cara's putting out 0 watts per kilogram, which sort of suggests that she's not racing at the moment, which isn't great news. We'd like to see her finish if we can. Go on, Cara. Just go and put some money in the electricity meter, or pay the bill, or something like that. I don't know what you need to do, but anyway, that's. I'm sure it doesn't take much. I think we're probably with Beluardo having 4 kilometres to go. Well, it's sped up a bit at 17-18 kph. I think it's time to run through the results one more time, and then we'll see where Beluardo's got to and probably wrap it all up. So we've seen all this before, but let's have a look at the time gaps here. You can see that the first bunch basically is 1st to 13th. You see Kristen Edge there from PokerMotion at 20.01.7. That is less than a second behind the winner, Wouter Claes. So that clutch of 13 riders certainly pulled away and gapped Nick Greenhalgh in 14th there, who was another second behind, alongside Mathieu Drujon and James Melville in that little clutch too. Then you get a 3-second gap, or it's probably 2.3 second gap to James Melville's teammate Alistair McAlpine. Casper Hednam another 6 seconds behind. So that was really strung out. Casper just beating Ryan Serdivic in their mini sprint, and that's what we like, putting in mini sprints. Then another 7 gap back to Aussie King, who rides for 3 hours. Brian Vince still gapped there from Watford Velo, but he was well ahead of Jonas van der Wiel, Daniel Nurschber. These guys coming in obviously solo and not racing. If you look at the time gaps there, if you look at Daniel Nurschber, 20.34, that's full 3 seconds ahead of Carlos Sella. Both of these are riders that you expect to see in there or thereabouts, and probably in this race, which I think was frenetic. This is probably shaking up the series a little bit. Great result from Mike Addy, just behind, winning on the same time, but just behind Ned Bowen. I mean, we know Ned's good at sprints, but Ned must be absolutely devastated with 28th. Thomas Poniatowski, 27th, probably disappointed. James Curry may be disappointed from the South District Wheelers B's at the positioning, but this was not quite the race I anticipated. It was absolutely hard and fast all the way down. Stuart Gillies, Twickenham, making up the 30, 20.45. Well, this, let's have a look at the rest. James Dix all the way back there in 60th, the Welshman. It's Harry Schmitz, 59th. Jacek Robak at 58th. Now, Jacek is a friend of mine. He lives in Poland. He used to live in the UK. in his younger days was a professional racer actually. Tom Lorbecky, 52nd, Ian Suddersby in 56, just behind Stuart Thorne from Chalfont St Peter, behind David Ellis. Tom Moss, Southborough District Wheelers in 53rd, just picked by Simon Hall, who organises the Watford Velo sports team for me. Paul Hinson recently joined the 21 Dun Club in 51st, just behind and only 0.5 of a second behind David Buckley, who hasn't got a bad sprint on him when he's in the mood. He helps me with the data, so a big shout out to David Buckley. Thomas Nygren for Sweden, Chris Duffy, another one of the Southborough District Wheelers, B's in 48th. Ragnar Lahm for Twickenham, debutant today, 47th. I think we'll be pleased with that. Martin Sudrek from Rosslov, riding for Moon Riders, 46th. Evan Oyston, another 3R riders. They should really put a team in and have enough riders in these races. Just beaten by Marino second, and Matt Feely from Ireland in Dublin area, 43rd. 42nd, Brian Detveller, Buck Rogers, 41st. Julian Fussell, another Southborough District Wheelers, just picked by my mate Andy Peel from Ealing. Mads Schnurr from Pokemotion at 38th. Luigi Bellini, 37th. Simon Miller, the main man organising the e-racing at Southborough District Wheelers. Look out for Friday Frenzy this Friday, just behind Roy Neild. Jonathan Frost, another Twickenham rider, picked by Mike Wareham of Moon Riders, and Mark Rowbottom of Ratio Racing. Kevin Unsworth, top of that pile, from 31 down to 60. So this has been a phenomenal race. Benuardo is now 2.3 kilometres to go. I don't know if we've got any more results. Probably not. I'm not sure it goes much more beyond that. We shall see. Oh, it does. It does actually. We went before, didn't we? Because we had, I remember Rob Blackburn. I remember that. So let's go from the top down. This Vita Rezicek, Moon Riders, 61st. Stefan Frigioni, 62nd. Isator from Moon Riders, 63rd. Tom Wendland, 64th. Pat Heron from Watford, 65th. Ian Davison, 66th. Phil Dolphin, 67th. Nick Pinkston, Pippin Timwood. Christo Lord, just ahead of Mike Buskirts from California, who just beat my friend Tom Yates Jazz, who lives locally to me. Ice Trixie is 73rd, ahead of Mike Lightfoot. Rafa Nunez, the Ecuadorian who lives in the UK, at 76th. Cameron Lees, Martin Wilson, Holly Larson, Tim Cummings from Ruislip, 79th. Just pipping Wendy Wondervilles from New Zealand, who's part of the Smile On ladies team, one of our two ladies teams alongside Twickenham ladies. Gautam Thacker, 81, riding with COVID, what a star. Grant Watson's 82nd, Tony Polo 83rd, Jarek Boschnowski 84th, Roy Lemons 85th, Claire Miller, another Twickenham lady, 86th, clocking up some decent points for them. PJTCC, that TCC of course is Twickenham, and another instance Twickenham riders riding together, PJ and Gavin Grant. Gavin Grant lives down near the Pyrenees in France, but still does a lot of work for Twickenham Cycling Club, which I think is fantastic. Miguel Silva from Portugal just beating another Twickenham rider who is probably riding with the three above, and Miguel probably snuck in and spoiled the party there. Maybe not looking at the times actually, because it's 20 seconds between PJ and Gavin Grant, and another 8 seconds between Miguel and Rob Blackburn. Well, that's about it. I'm sure. I'm thinking Cara is not going to get going again, because there's no. If you look at 108th position there, there's no wattage coming out, so I think she's not cycling. Bad luck. I would love to see you finish, Cara, but I think I'm going to assume you're not going to solve the Tecanical. And so this is Belardo with 1.4k to go. We'll assume that he finishes. They'll certainly be up on the results. The results will be up on the westlondoncycling.com website in a few hours time, once they've all been processed, and we will be back in 2 weeks. Many thanks to Damon Bates for producing the ZMS broadcast. Look out for plenty more. I would assume they're doing the Friday Frenzy on Friday. There'll be plenty more, but just look it up on the Facebook page for ZMS. Damon putting on lots and lots of these things, for which sometimes I commentate and other times other people do it, but it's all part of the RGT community. RGT, a wonderful platform for racing, I'm sure you'll all agree. Thank you very much for being part of this. This was a phenomenal race and over 100 finishers, and probably in a record time. I shall have to look back over the races. I'm not sure, but I don't think we've had one this fast yet, but of course we've never had one so downhill. It's all downhill from here. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Thanks very much, everybody. More fantastic racing on RGT with West London Cycling. See you soon.